Hello YouTube, good evening, late afternoon as it is here. A little drive time chat subject for you that has just come to mind that is fairly significant, I think. Not sure what the title is going to be, but I think I'm definitely going to have to send this tag the prepared mind in this one, because it's definitely a subject. I might have it as archives. I search as archives too. But in SHTF and Integrity of the people you interact with, and the measures, what's in the justice or the just retribution for lack thereof. You know, say scenario is you're you got a small compound land, small piece of land, everything's falling apart. Small family comes across your property, asks to come in, you know, nothing suspicious or anything. Obviously everybody has their own policies on whether or not they accept new people in and stuff after it all goes down, yada yada. But let's say this, this family, he lists a certain amount of skills and everything he has, and let's say he has a skill set that you could really benefit from. Let's say he's a farmer. He explains how he farmed next county over or whatever, and and you've had a really rough last year. Hey, it's January right now. You could really use him come April and May, right? So there's a benefit, and you weigh it all out, talk to whoever, and decide to bring this guy in, right? Or and his family, for let's say, and really beneficial to the group. Pulls his own weight, productive member, everything like that. April, May come around, crop planting time comes around. You start to lean on this guy to get your crop in the ground, and try to get hopefully a better crop than last year, because you're kind of, playing it by ear. You've only done a little bit, maybe one or two different crops, and now you need to feed a large group of people, because it's SHTF. You've got 30 people that are trying to produce a larger scale of crops than you have before, and you've usually just had backyard gardens. Now you got a large whatever, and now you've got a good potential for getting a larger crop with somebody with experience, right? And it comes about late May, early June, and there's just not performing. You're not getting a crop out. It's not producing. Seeds aren't taken. Well, something's going wrong, right? And you're trying to figure it out. It's no better than last year, that's for sure. Things are not going along. Well, works itself out. The guy comes out and says, I was never really a farmer. I've read about it. I did some backyard gardening and stuff, but I'm not really a farmer. I lied about that. And obviously your whole group's mad at him and everything like that. And that was one of the main reasons you took him in, because you saw a beneficial skill set that they possessed that could really help your group out. And now when a critical time comes, we're really hoping to lean on him, and it's not true, or it's not panning out. And comes to find out, the whole thing was a lie to begin with. And everything previously, though, he's a fine member. He's done everything else. He pulls their weight. He doesn't use more resources than anybody, or the family doesn't. What do you do in that type of scenario? Is that a excommunication type? Kick him off? Is there an issue with bonding? They've been there 4 or 5 months. They've bonded with the group overall. Is there a forgiveness factor? Or is it, does it go beyond that? And I think that's a good question to ask everybody, because I think there's always going to be scenarios where we bring people in based upon what they tell us. You're going to be lacking skill sets in various places, whether it's mechanic, security, cooking, growing things, husbandry, raising animals. Every group's not going to have it all from the get-go, and you're going to bring people in, and the decision-making process behind that is going to be critical, I think. In a scenario like this, where somebody just happens to lie to you about the right one, and you trust. I guess you put some trust in them, and everything seems to be working out. And all of a sudden, when the road meets the road, time comes and it goes bad. What do you do? Even though everything else is kosher, other than that one skill set you had hoped that they were being forthright about, and that you were really keen on, and you didn't even tell them when you brought them in that obviously you wouldn't tell them when you brought them in, hey, we could really use that, until after they'd been there a while. But they just happened to tell the right story, maybe, or maybe they're watching you from afar and they know what you're lacking. What do you do in that type of scenario? And that I think that goes back to obviously we want our group to be diverse and have the necessary skill sets and or needed skill sets. I mean, everything is going to be, like I said, lacking, but you want to plan it out to where you have a lot of what you need, right? But it also gets back to integrity, and we talk about people not being truthful before SHTF. People now there's a lot of lying and mistrust and everything in today's society, and people don't trust everybody. Like used to be, a man's word was his honor. You believe people what they told you, and that's changed a lot. And especially on the internet, you can only take everything with a grain of salt. You don't really, unless you don't believe anything you hear, and only half what you see, right? And I think Rebel Solutions is really good at this of evaluating people in person. But our evaluation skills on people's integrity are going to be very important, and not only in SHTF but prior to, leading up to, now forming a group, getting to know people, because you're not going to know everybody right now when you're trying to form a group. You're going to have to meet new people, evaluate, test integrity. Somebody might be trying to join your group and say they have a certain skill set. Like, all right, that's good. We need that. This, that, and the other thing. It may not even be something you need to practice before. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but maybe you won't even be able to evaluate it before things go bad or you really need it. I guess the key thing there is, hey, evaluate everybody on their supposed skill set before SHTF, right? That may not always be possible, though. But that's definitely something to rely upon or think about. If you got a group that says they're this, that, and the other thing, evaluate that before necessary, before it's really needed, right? Because once you get into it, things could, you lose trust in somebody. It's going to create a rift in the group, and you might have to, send the people on their way. Excommunication, if you will, or if you're willing to take more extreme measures, I guess that'd be on you. I don't know if the punishment for lying should be more extreme than that, but would the penalty for somebody that's been in your group pre-SHTF who lied about something be more severe, and you found out about it after SHTF, and it doesn't wash out until after everything's went down? Wouldn't the penalty for that be more severe because they've been with your group this whole time, versus somebody who comes in after SHTF? They're in really dire straits, they're hungry on the road, and everything like that, and they want to come in. Hey, they've told you something that wasn't true, wouldn't that, would you have a little more forgiveness for that scenario? Somebody that came in afterwards and was just trying to get by, or would you treat them just as severely as you would somebody who was pre-SHTF, and then you found out about it afterwards as well? And obviously you'd come on them pretty hard, I think. So that's a SHTF prepared mind question, I think. We'll throw that his way. I'll see if he's talked about this, and I think it's appropriate for the times. But integrity and your word is your honor is very important, and it's going to be more important after everything falls apart. We have to go back to that skill set of being able to really figure out who people are quickly and on the go a lot of times, without a lot of the cultural skills that get built up and cultural environments in the old days where communities were built around this whole thing. So, all right, YouTube, I'll shut up. Something for you to think about. Comment, like below, thumbs down if you don't like the conversation. We'll talk at you later. Live free.